Hello guys, this is going to be a very short, not very in-depth at all, kind of just a brief overview of the game Eternal Return and what you should know about it before coming to it from League of Legends. Because I used to play League, I hit my peak rank D2, kind of got stuck, unmotivated, blah blah blah. Kind of fell back down. I was never really that good at it, and then I came to this game, and I'm pretty mediocre at this game. There's a lot smaller player base, so it's easier to be higher ranked. But overall, I know quite a bit about both games, and so I'm going to make this video to help people transfer from League into this game if they want to get into this game or even just try it out. So the first thing you do is it'll put you into the first tutorial right here, and it doesn't matter too much how many you do. I'd recommend doing at least the first 3, although in all like it says in them, it's like all in the text, so you have to read the text if you really want to get at anything out of it. Other than that, there's not too much to learn from these, except you want to click on items from like in boxes with yellow triangles on them, and those will form your weapon. And yeah, next thing, you want to find a character to play, and so you'll go to your collection and it'll show these ones with the unlock are the ones that you can play for free. So you find one that you're interested in, and then I'd recommend going here to doc.gg/bser. From there, you can look at character guides, and it'll tell you basic info about these, and then you can go to leaderboards masters and click on whatever character you want. So let's say we wanted to play Heart. We could just look, these are the top players for a specific character. You can click here and find what items they build here, and these are normally the items you want to aim for. And what you can do is either go back here to guides under characters, and it'll tell you, that's Fiora, it'll tell you what like some of the more played builds are, and I'll tell you their rank here. So like this one's bronze, so I mean, this build's correct, but you normally wouldn't want to go off of it, right? These people that are immortal right here, you can normally trust these. So you want to go one of these, and you can just click on it and click, where is it? Here it is, copy ID plan right here, and you copy it, and you can just put it straight into, delete this, straight into import saved ID plan. And there you go, you have it. And you can select it when you pop up into game. Aside from that, like if you don't want to do that, say you want to copy this guy's build, Titan 4, who happens to have a very similar build, I think, but you can just take these items and go to this other site, Lumia Craft, click on guitar, and put the items that you see here that he has. I didn't click the right one, but anyway, just select the items like from each category that he has, and it'll tell you like the best zone to go for that, and you can make your own plan. I wouldn't recommend this as much until you get a bit more experienced, but that's kind of the overview on builds. So one of the next most important things is food, and for the most part, you don't have to worry about it too much in the early game. You just kind of pick up garlic if you see it and put it into your bread. And same with like lemons or anything like that, right? Like you kind of make these small things. And then later into the game, you want to try and get lighters. And with lighters, what you can do, or you should pick up any lighters you find in any zone, right? You'll probably go through one of these zones in your route. And if you find lighters, you want to just store it in your inventory because they're really important for food later on. Normally what you want to do is mix lighters with stone to get heated stone. And then you can go to pond, cemetery, or forest for carp, which gets you baked carp, or you can go to, where's the shot? Here we go. Here, or here for potatoes, for baked potatoes. These both give the same amount of food. They're both really good. Another thing you can do is healing potions, which is a flower, which is in all these zones, oriental herb, these zones, and then glass bottles, which are in these zones, and they give you healing potions. These are really good food, and pretty easy to make for the most part. A bit harder, but still really good. Other things to make, if you find milk, you can hold on to it and form it into any of these. Butter potatoes is really good, or butter fried potatoes. I think they also have butter potatoes, which are like kind of bad, but pound cake, chocolate chip cookie with chocolate, or honey butter, also with honey. That's about all you need to know for food until you get like more into it. There's of course stuff like garlic ramen and other stuff with heated oil or boiling water, but aside from that, you don't have to worry about it too much. You can also make mocha bread with coffee liquor if you're coming out of the hospital into a cemetery or something like that. You can get both of these and combine it with your bread to get mocha bread. It's really good. In terms of drink, though, I'm not gonna cover it too much because it's not that important for a lot of characters, aside from just picking up these base ingredients when you're walking around early in your first or second zone and just drinking them immediately. One, so other players can get them, and two, so you just keep your mana up and you don't have to worry about your mana problems too much. But one thing I would recommend, if you know you're going to use a lot of mana like later on and stuff, and you have the inventory room for it, is if you're in any of these zones and you pick up honey, you can either make honey water, which is just with the water you get, or you can go and make cola and turn that into whiskey cocktail if you go into either Uptown or a hotel, because it has both of these, and you get a lot of them. You can, just with like 1 honey, 1 carbonated water, and 3 whiskeys, you can get 15 whiskey cocktail, which takes up a lot of inventory space, but you can drop a couple, but they're pretty good in my opinion. And this is really good on Dylan, especially in my opinion, because you'll learn about that later. She's good with alcohol pretty much because her attack speed. But yeah, that's pretty much the basics on food. But most importantly, what I wanted to show you here was your mastery level, which you can click here to get or press V. So this is most important here. Whatever weapon you have, I have glove. Your mastery is here, and you can get it by hitting things, either animals, or enemies, or getting kills or anything like that. Also from crafting weapons gets you this, but you don't have to worry about that too much. Normally you'll only craft one a game when you're starting out. But yeah, this is really important because it just gives you more damage and attack speed and other stuff for your own. The rest of the stuff, won't worry about it too much, but just know that all your masteries here go into your base level here, which, you know, gives you more base stats and levels up your abilities, unless you level up your abilities, which is pretty important because, you know, same as League. Okay, something else I want to cover real quick is opportunity cost in this game, which I can relate really easily to jungle in League of Legends. But basically, you want to make sure you spend your time doing what you think is most important for you. Whether it's fighting enemies, if you're at a key power spike where you're really strong and you want to get some kills, or farming animals if you're behind maybe, or you just want to get more mastery, whether it's getting items quickly for your build, whether it's getting food, whether it's getting better positioning for a fight, like whatever you need to do. Like, there's a whole bunch of decisions you have to make in this game, and you're always timed. You're racing against other players. This game is basically a racing game. You're racing against other players to make sure you're always stronger than them. But you have to make sure you're doing whatever is most important. I'm just going to say that. It's pretty much League. Like, you have to decide between doing your camps, going back to base, routing into the enemy jungler, going for a gank, anything like that. Like, it's the same as jungle from League. You just have to make sure you're doing something. Anything at all times is most important. Because if you're doing nothing, you're just getting super far behind. Just make sure you're doing something. That's all I'm going to say about that. Alright, next I want to cover the two keybinds, I guess, that are different from League. Other than that, pretty much all our controls are exactly the same. So by default, tilde will be your like quick craft key. Holy shit, talking's hard. But it'll just craft whatever is leftmost in your build here. You can't see it right now, but if I go pixeline alt, maybe, hold on, let's see. See if there's anything here. Okay, so like these, if I click tilde, it'll just automatically craft these. But yeah, that's really important. Or it's not like terribly important, but it makes stuff a lot faster and a lot more efficient. So pretty much you want to use that, or put it on a different key that you can use. The other key that's different is X. It's so B doesn't. Okay, B opens up the like buy menu in this game, or shop pretty much, which shows you items. But that's not really important for when you're starting out. But what is important is when you press X, you will rest, and this just increases your mana and health really fast, kind of like sitting in Fountain in League of Legends. So if you're like low in mana, make sure you get to somewhere safe, like where you would want to recall our line, and then press X. Another thing I can show to you guys now, this is actually just coming up. So it's 5 minutes in game time, like this is the in-game time, 5 minutes, and then this is how much is left in the game, or not in the game, in the day. This is how much is left in the day. So at the end of the day, like when that timer gets to 0, the yellow zones will close and new yellow zones will appear. And yellow, you don't get any penalty for being in yellow zones, but if you're in a red zone, your timer will start to tick down like this, and that's permanent for the rest of the game, except for in solos, you get some back for killing people. But once this timer hits 0, you just instantly die. So you don't want this timer to hit 0 pretty much. So you want to stay out of red zones as much as possible, and be wary of yellow zones because you don't want to be in them when there's like 2 seconds left, because you might just get stuck and die or something like that, right? But you can freely walk in and out of all of them, and there's no problem. Another thing I want to point out, which I'll show to you guys soon, is Wickling. This is the timer for Wickling right here. If you open up map, I forget what it is by default. For me, it's spacebar. But yeah, this is how long until Wickling spawns, which is pretty much just Elder Dragon, except it's like Elder Dragon. It gives you a burn on all of your attacks, and it gives you some good loot from it. But yeah, I'll talk more about that in a second. Okay, so my next topic here is going to be Wickling, which is basically the Elder Dragon of Eternal Return. And it always spawns right here at 10:05 of the game time, right here. And if Avenue is open, which it is right now, but like if it's yellow, it doesn't count. Like it normally won't go to Avenue if it's yellow, but if Avenue is yellow or red, it will not come here. But if it's open, like pretend this wasn't yellow right now, it will come and walk out here into Avenue always. And it always says in chat like when it walks into a new zone, whatever the zone is. But since Avenue is closing, the next place it goes is it walks from here around, okay, walks around here and comes out here into Cemetery. And if Cemetery is closed, it goes to here next. Sometimes it walks around this way, sometimes it walks around this way, but yeah, those are like the 3 places it comes. It either comes out here, or it comes out here, and it always spawns right here at 10:05 in the game, and I'll show you what it looks like in a second. Okay, so Wickling is just spawned a couple seconds ago. And it's right here. I'm just going to start walking down to here. I'll show you guys what it looks like. A lot of players mistake Wickling as another player when they first start playing. And she just is not. So try not to do that. But this is Wickling. So if you see her, just know that it's Elder Dragon and not another player, right? So yeah. But generally, if somebody has the Wickline buff, which you can see by clicking on them, just like the same as League, then you don't want to fight them, because they'll probably be really strong, because, you know, they just do more damage, because they have the Wickline buff. They probably have better items, because they got the Wickline items. But you'll learn more about that as you play more. Last 2 things I want to cover before I end this, probably, are these, which are consoles, which give you vision of areas wherever these cameras are. They're always in the same spot every game for each zone. You'll just learn where they are eventually. But yeah, activating this gives you the vision around them. And then these are teleporters, which let you pick which zone to go to. Just a warning that using these later into the game, after 2-3 minutes or so, it's very dangerous, because you spawn in a random location in that zone, and if somebody's watching you, they can see that you're coming and just instantly kill you. And the last thing to do with vision are these surveillance cameras that also build into, if I can find a binocular, there we go, that also build into telephoto cameras. So surveillance cameras on their own give vision. They work pretty much exactly the same as telephoto cameras, except the amount of vision they don't give is like as large. But telephotos in them both give vision in bushes. They let you see traps, which you'll learn about later on, but aren't that important when you're starting off. But yeah, and there's no invisible cameras, so every player can see all of them as long as like they're in their vision range. But yeah, those are all of the basics to this game. And if you wanted to learn more and you like the game, you want to continue playing and you want to learn, I'd recommend watching streamers. I stream sometimes, not as often as I used to, but White Rabbit T1 is my Twitch. You don't really have to watch me. I'm pretty good at duos and squads compared to most NA players. I win a lot of squads and duos tournaments, but just like if you want to like learn quickly and like ask questions and stuff like that, I'd recommend just going into the Eternal Return directory on Twitch and sorting it by English, and there'll be plenty of people willing to help you out. Some of them might not be as skilled as others, but someone I can personally recommend and I love watching, who happens to also be from League, is Homecoming NA. I'll link his stream in the description, and I'll also put his Discord in the description, because if you have any questions, you can go into his Discord and you can ask the question, and there will be plenty of people, including myself, that would be willing to answer for you. And it's a lot more reliable than going into the general chat, the general Discord for this video game, because there's a lot of, I'm not gonna lie, unreliable sources. But yeah, that's all for this video. I might make more in-depth guides another time. But yeah, I just wanted to make this basic guide for people coming to Herbs from League of Legends. Bye bye everybody. Thanks for watching.